Good morning, team. Hey, I just want to give you a quick little tutorial. This video is great as far as describing what we've been talking about at practice, and it has some slow motion, so I kind of wanted to share this with you as we kind of unfold it. So it comes from a company called AccuSpike. AccuSpike makes this contraption, which my high school will likely be purchasing this season. So that I'm kind of excited to get it in the gym as it can help train athletes with that. So anyway, let's take a watch. Here we see the approach is on his right. Then we have that second step left. And then we have the big, powerful right left. Now look at his arm swing here, right? We can see what this arm is doing. We see how he compresses here. Look at his knees are bent, driving up through the ball. We want to watch right here. Watch how this arm, look at this angle that's being created here with this arm and how his shoulders will move to mimic that angle right there. We see his pullback here. Now I've been talking to you about pulling back, trying to keep your hand faces the court, right? And trying to pull that arm back. If I was coaching him, I'd say we want to pull that arm back a little bit lower, but he does pull it back. This is step one. Here we go into step two, where his arm gets to close to 90 degrees here, but not quite. That's step two. We can see that his belly button is facing over here on the right side of the antenna. His hips are open again over to zone 5 at this point. Now we start to see his swing, but we now see that his hips have closed to zone 5, the kind of zone 6, moving into that 1-6 seam, going all the way through 1. We see his belly button moving from right to left. Look at, here is step 3. His hand is pretty well straight behind his head. His elbow is leading the swing attack, right? Here we see at the ear hole, just like I like to say it, his elbow is in front. Look, his hips have fully rotated. His belly button is now fully rotated, facing zone 1. And then we see the balance of his arm swing. His elbow is now right about at contact point, and his hand is going to simply drive through the ball. Here we see the wrist snap down, and his arm continues to follow. Now he's hitting into this net, which is to the right of his contact point. That's why his hand comes into his right pocket, because he wanted to hit to his right. They do a couple of more videos of this. We'll let this next one kind of run through. Here we see he does not have a net over here, so he's just swinging into the court. But again, we see these big arms coming up. Here's that, remember that angle of attack. We see he's here in position 2. There's 3. Elbow is crossing his ear before. We see hip rotation, belly button moving, and we see him hitting a cross shot. Where his belly button faces, that's where the ball goes, right? And he hits that cross court shot. They do one more. Here again, we see his approach. Here's step 2, step 3, and 4. Big explosion up. Let's watch. Here is this angle of his arm. We see that mimic his shoulders. Again, here is hips, belly button, going cross court. This one's harder to slow down because they didn't do it in very good slow motion. But we see here he's rotated through, his belly button's facing this way, shoulder, elbow, hand following, and swinging all the way through. And again, he hit to the right side, so his hand is going into his right pocket. So hope you like that video. See you soon.